Well, hello there. It's been a while. Sorry about that once again. Really getting on my case and many things that's been happening and time consuming constraints. Well, hello there, my fellow brothers, sisters, gamers, and anime lovers. Buster here again with a reaction video. I think I'll bring back the old title because I think that's causing me not to get much views, like they're getting confused about searches. So, right now, we're on the Helldiver spree. So, until I can buy the game myself, I'll be waiting for it. At the same time, I'm also spending a bit on Arc Knights. If you don't know, if you want me to record a certain event that's coming up that I'm trying to get this operator, yeah, it's Jessica, the altar. So I really am excited for that. So if you want me to record that and upload it, just tell me in the comment section below, alright? Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you really want to. It's really up to you. We got another Rubik's Raptor video up here ready to go. This is Rubik's Raptors. Is Helldivers 2 a dream game? Of course it is. Of all the things I've been seeing on the net, it's so enjoyable to watch. So it must be also enjoyable to play, even though it's gonna be heck. So from my summation, or I surmise that bugs are easy mode, robots are insane mode, so good luck with that. But I like myself a challenge, and I want to meet a fire team or a group of Helldivers to play with that we could at least roleplay or cooperate. So let's start the video. Enough with me yammering on and on and on, so let's get this on.
Howdy! The past few months have been very good for video game hobbyists, affectionately known as gamers. In the past year, to name some highlights, we've had Armored Core 6, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, Lethal Company, Palworld, and now the latest game to continue our good luck streak, Helldivers 2.
What
I have a lot
music
to
is
say
that?
about this game, hence why this video will not be like my normal content, but hopefully a fun watch nonetheless. Manscaped was also nice enough to support this, so more than
nice.
Helldivers means a lot to me. The first game came out in 2015 and was an escape for me as I came off the bus from high school, and now in 2024, its sequel is an escape for me from my adult life, where I can live my suppressed fantasy of dropping enough orbital ordnance to turn a planet's surface to glass. Let it rain iron!
And you're like that. Embracing the explosions.
In this video, I'm going to go over what has made this sequel special to me, what we can probably expect from it in the future, and what makes Helldivers 2 a dream game.
I've barely seen the other maps. It
First
looks
off,
beautiful.
let's talk about a Swedish
Better
video
than
game company.
Starfield. You got my thumbs up, Arrowhead.
Arrowhead Studios, our protagonist for this story, was founded in 2008 by some rather creative university students that would go on to make games such as Magica and, of course, Helldivers. If you are quick to connect the dots on the type of games they like to make, it can be described with the phrase, friendly fire. So what surprises it that now, in Helldivers 2, the thing that I die from the most is my friend's mortar sentry.
I'll never use the mortar
one of the
sentry
best
for my
third-person
teammates.
games of our age to come from a company that only has made platformers and isometrics was not on my bucket.
Alright, my preferred playstyle, I'm gonna pause this a little bit. So, my playstyle will be, I'll be the big armor, big meaty shield, and I'll be the bullet magnet, or the, just in case, the aggro. So, you guys can do your job, and I'll hold the fort and be the tank. I always love playing as a tank because I feel like I'm helping my entire team by becoming the bullet sponge or the master. I don't want to label myself like that. But I love paladin roles like that in old RPG games, like the shield sword type characters, the knight armor, the knightly gallant type. That's who I often characterize myself as. So I'm gonna be I'm gonna be the sacrifice, I think, most for my gameplay.
But, you know, isn't that what makes life so interesting? Speaking of Swedish companies, the video game engine that Helldivers 2 uses is BitSquid, an interesting piece of software developed by none other than the Stockholm company Fat Shark. Some may then have the knowledge that this is a company that developed Vermintide and Darktide, and all of a sudden it makes sense why this game seems to handle hordes of enemies running at you so well. That side note over, what I can say about Arrowhead is that they've never seemed to have lost the passion to make fun, creative projects, and I'd like to exemplify that with the little stuff.
cool.
They also have this bit going on with shovels. So, if you're an Arrowhead dev watching, what's the deal with that?
Enjoy the little things.
I'm the one who made them real.
What I value in quality above all else in games is the accumulation of small details that put together a feeling of polish and completeness to an experience that you might not even fully recognize as why you enjoy something so much. I'm talking about the effort a developer or artist puts into something that most players might not even recognize or fully appreciate. These are items such as the Helldivers skull insignia on the bottom of your boot or your titanium alloy helmet that they brag about in the lore, and it actually deflects powerful hits, though the health of its occupant is not always
I want
guaranteed.
a helmet like that. I'll be safe, but my entire body will
Another
be
great example of this
mush.
is that despite the game being developed as a third-person shooter, they still went through the effort of giving every single weapon an option to aim down sights in first person. Additionally, they gave all these weapons a unique reload animation in first person that are arguably very high quality. There's also a single stratagem that you can get called the Ballistic Shield, an item that gives you a shield, obviously, that takes up one of your hands, and wouldn't you know it, now all of your weapons have a unique one-handed reload in a game that most of the time you'll be playing like this. The small references in this game have also brought me unnatural levels of joy. For a majority of my time playing so far, I've been using the SC-34 Scout Armor, the description of which reads, "This suit's plutonium-238 nuclear battery enables environmental scanning long after the user has ceased operation," which, intentionally or not, is a direct reference to the Scout Armor from the book Armor by John Stakely, written in 1984, one of my favorite novels of all time, and from which I enjoy this excerpt.
Wow.
Another fantastic one is that if you go on the galactic map and go up from Mars, you will find a planet named Clendath 2, a not-so-subtle nudge to one of the game's main inspirations, Starship Troopers, for which had the planet Clendathu. In your ship's atrium, you can find on the right that there... Oh. Greetings, Super Earth citizens! This is your state-mandated check for hygiene and grooming, brought to you by our patron, Manscaped. As I mentioned before, Manscaped was nice enough to sponsor this project of mine, so to pay them back, I will now be telling you about their product while doing a Helldive difficulty planetary defense. I'll make it quick, I hope you enjoy it. Today we're going to be talking about the Manscaped 5.0 performance package. It comes with a bunch of stuff, including the new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Razor also comes with an interchangeable skin-safe blade. The interchangeable blade is between a ceramic and foil blade. The razor is also rechargeable, has travel lock, and is waterproof. The package comes with a whole bunch of other stuff, such as the Weed Whacker 2.0, an electric waterproof nose and ear hair trimmer. Isn't that crazy, Phil?
Fuck you, robot! You're not taking me alive!
This package also comes with the crop soother and
crop preserver. I would love to do that.
Shit. It is the ultimate aftershave and cologne for all your grooming needs.
Is that a dreadnought?
Did I mention that the razor has an LED for...
There's a Dawn of War reference. That looks like a damn dreadnought. The only thing missing is an assault cannon and a flamer. We'll get the heavy flamer.
All your grooming needs. Did I mention that the razor has an LED light on it? I definitely did. This entire package also comes with bonus items such as the Boxers 2.0. As well, Pip, did you know it comes... Oh my god, Pip, it comes with the Shed 2.0. Head over to manscaped.com to get the new performance package 5.0 Ultra today. And when you can use my code Rubik's, you'll get an entire 20% off, plus free shipping, plus the bonus items. That's 20% off everything. Use the code, or the automatons win. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring this video. We're gonna get back to the other content
my gosh, this feels like Star Wars!
The actual gameplay, the way your character reacts to terrain, whether it is trudging through snow or high water, sliding on ice, or plummeting off a rock face, all of it has beautiful animation work that easily translates to the player and lets them anchor themselves to the character that they are playing. Also, side note on the water, your cape floats and interacts with it, which is wild. Speaking of terrain,
this is what attention to detail looks like. Not the Call of Duty high graphics and then bugs. Nothing but bugs. And I don't mean the Terminid kind. Why can't other developers do this? The companies, why don't you make a product this good and into detail? I would spend good money on it if it's good enough.
You can destroy it when there's an explosion, and there are a lot of explosions in
wonder
this
I
game.
don't buy
It
Modern
permanently
Warfare
deforms
3.
the ground and structures, letting you or the enemy leave their mark.
Hellbomb?
Also, that was a 500-kilogram bomb, which, by the way, you can kill someone with physically before it even explodes. Not like it needed to, but it does. If you can't tell by now, I could probably tangent on the minutia of this game for a bit, so I will attempt to speed it up. The hitboxes in this game are so good that it makes you forget about the concept of hitboxes. Not only for yourself, but every enemy in the game, for which it rewards you on the impact of every bullet. You have a godless, freedom-hating bug chasing you, blast its leg off, and watch it limp and bleed out. Is there a robot set on destroying your way of life? Remove its instruments of oppression and remind it why humanity is number one. You can also walk on
using
all
its
the enemies
legs
and your friends, as a small aside. When shooting as well, your third-person HUD has a dynamic crosshair, which not only shows you where you are aiming, but also where your barrel is pointed. This allows for slower handling guns to feel like they're acting like they should to the player, while not compromising their heavy feeling, which is a feature that was in one of my favorite games, Arma 2, and it seems like lost media at this point now. Now, let me talk about these skyboxes and ships. When you look into the sky, you can see the distant battles of other players. While most likely not real, it does cement the feeling that you are a cog in a galactic war. What definitely is real, though, is your own ship, and being able to watch it rain brimstone upon your enemies is a phenomenal feeling. From up above, you are once again greeted with a fantastic scene of a world in peril. Able to see stratagems and fire missions across its surface, as well. If you're fighting the automatons, you will begin to realize that, unlike the bugs, they are not defenseless against your fleet. When you go to travel between missions with your friends, you will warp between planets, or if you are moving to a new mission, you can watch as your vessel traverses the globe through your windows. If a friend is planning an operation, the table will display exactly what they're doing, letting you coordinate and plan your next adventure. Okay, I have to end this section here because I'm realizing that it is endless. I'm going to end up talking about stage reloads or the dual tube indicator on the shotgun for the next hour if I'm not careful, and even recording B-roll, I kept finding more shit.
Oh! Free!
We're discovering cool little quirks about this game while trying to film a video about cool little quirks for this game. Okay, there is more, but lightning round. The rocket launchers have backblast. Your character starts to scream when you hold down the trigger of weapons. You can land stratagems on enemies and it will kill them. The automatons have marching songs. Your armor gets covered in blood, bug guts, and dirt. Specific voice lines for each kind of injury you can receive.
More physics.
And on snow maps, you can actually make and throw snowballs.
Oh,
God.
This feels like GTA
more,
now.
But I gotta move on. If there's something you like specifically, you can just let me know. But I think it is time that we move on to the big stuff.
This is so realistic. The big stuff is cool too. A cup of liberty. Flavor! Yeah! Well, what's that? What the hell are you guys doing? You can reload for a teammate! I really want to play with friends! I wish I had some. I know.
This game is just fun. Its gameplay loop is violently simple. Meet up on your ship with your friends, pick the operation you feel like doing, coordinate your loadouts for this match's playstyle, drop through atmosphere like Prometheus Return to Earth, clear your landing zone and gear up, kill the traitors of democracy, burn the traitors of democracy, do objectives, loot points of interest, get to the extract, and leave. Now, what truly makes this loop good is the freedom, pun intended, in which you can get it done and the possibilities that can occur while you're getting it done. Don't want a safe landing? Start your mission in the middle of an enemy's base. Want to focus on loot? Find a radar station and scan the map. Don't want to be swarmed by enemy reinforcements? Try a stealth run against an enemy encampment. This last one I can't recommend trying enough. For a game about bravado and mayhem, its stealth is surprisingly fun and rewarding when you get to do entire objectives without being attacked, which is helpful on the higher difficulties. This is working. This is so dumb. Holy shit. All throughout, you'll be using stratagems ranging from precision strikes to napalm bombing or screen covering artillery barrages. These, of course, course, are for repelling the waves of monsters and robots thrown your way, as
fly.
well as turning your friends to mashed potatoes. Speaking on that note, accidentally
I
killing
don't
your
wanna
friends
do that to my
is a core
teammates.
gameplay element,
Please
which is
don't do it to
wild.
me.
You're left considering if you should use a specific call-in because you have a teammate in its radius, or you find an arc thrower, but you know one wrong move will molecularly disassemble a squad mate. The fact that you can have friends with you is a difficulty multiplier. One of the games that feels like it also does this is Escape from Tarkov, where you can bring a full squad of 5 people, but you risk blasting each other apart in a friendly fire incident. Though, unlike Escape from Tarkov, when you are obliterated by your team, most of the time, it is a laughing matter, and a lot of the times, it's very fun. I'm shocked you haven't arc thrown. Get it? Shocked? I knew it was coming. I tried to get away. The drop pod and respawn system is great, letting you get straight back into the fun. And when the reinforcement counter finally starts running out, you begin to have some of the most intense fights the game has to offer. And when you have all the equipment in the game, those said fights are some of the most uniquely entertaining experiences you can have in a video game. Also, blessed be the flamethrower against bugs. Thou flame is a righteous beacon in the coming of the dark, and it is fucking fun. I also know I talked about your friends being a burden in this game, but they are also your greatest asset. They have the ability to squad load your weapons and turn you into the incarnate of murder. They can heal and help you out of situations, keep you supplied, draw the enemy's fire to let you complete objectives, and give their lives for Super Earth in your stead. The next is hands down my favorite part of this game, which is the terrains, which I don't need to talk about, I'm just gonna show you.
Battlefield, Call of Duty, get your crap together. If this small studio can do the job better than you both, I'm not gonna be surprised if you shut down one day. If you're gonna keep giving us garbage and these guys give us gold, I will freaking go to them instead. Screw Battle.net. Screw EA. Screw everything. These guys know how to do it. And I hope they get all the money that they deserve. But you get the idea.
I've also now reached the epiphany that I've said what I needed to in this section. The game is great. I encourage you to find a live stream of it and see what I'm talking about. Never mind, I just remembered the ragdolls. The ragdolls in this game, especially the diving and then ragdolling, is peak.
Holy shit!
I haven't enjoyed diving this much since Max Payne, and the ragdolls remind me of my favorite game of all time, Arma 3, which probably deserves its own video down the line in the future. Okay, I'm done. Let's talk about the world of Helldivers.
You get a cape. No capes! Sorry, Edna.
At the end of the Helldivers tutorial, your graduation from training is marked by receiving your cape, a feature to combat armor that is utterly ridiculous, yet it's perfection when trying to convey what kind of universe you are now a part of. That is, a satirical dystopia that uses hyperbolic American culture where virtues such as bravery and courage drown out common sense, and it is absolutely hilarious. Also, if the irony of everyone talking about liberty and freedom while having no liberty and freedom is lost on you, wazam, now it isn't. This world is also conveyed to you through almost entirely organic means. Besides the boot up of the game, there is no screen covering cinematics feeding you lore. Where you begin to learn about the world is idle conversation with your ship's crew.
I can't believe I'm here for the first real Helldiver activation in 100 years.
The orders that you're given for battle, and the ever-present propaganda being beamed into your atrium.
The only thing that can stop them, a strong economy. Don't let your family get murdered. Spend your extra cash.
Oh my.
Keeping this passive lore momentum going, all the
parody
equipment
of a
descriptions
freaking
reflect the same
shit.
tone of comedic irony. For example, the yogurt armor. Apparently some corporation thought it would be good marketing to dress humanity's elite soldiers in yogurt advertisement and then hurl them at alien worlds. It's also an armor that you get free at the start of the game.
Everyone has yogurt armor. Dipshit. It came free with your fucking Helldivers.
What?
I'm also not proud to say that we've
Oh my
used
gosh,
the
they're all
yogurt armor
yogurt.
a little too much.
Grenades! Salvo them! 3 yogurt core! Yogurt boy down!
This feels like a freaking
That was a
clone
great
super
yogurt
battalion.
advertisement. Continuing on the lore, it's meticulously intertwined with every aspect of the game, including the loading tips, which, by the way, I got
Don't
this one,
drink and
and then I
drive.
went back to play the
Okay,
first game and immediately got it again.
I think I need to go drink and drive.
Once you are on a planet, however, the lore is a lot more hands-on, able to find points of interest with object descriptions and left-behind info logs. Also some
Left
good
behind.
pieces of environmental storytelling. Side note, the
Hell
flamethrower does
bomb.
not set off hell bombs. My intrusive thoughts checked. However, what makes this game's story special is it's happening live and being created by the community while being shepherded by the developers. In the first week, you might have seen the memes that the Battle of
Malevelon
Creek created, a planet in permanent twilight with thick jungles that left players LARPing the Vietnam War and having the time of their lives. The battles on this planet quickly becoming not just part of
I
the
know the
game's
memes.
culture, but the actual lore of the universe and the current war. On the developers'
trees are
end,
speaking
when the
binary.
legions of Helldivers liberated the worlds of Angels, Ventures, and Heath, it became an in-game event, and news broadcasts about it began to play while the characters on your ships began to talk about it. All of this culminates to create an atmosphere and culture that has a direct impact on gameplay. The Society of Super Earth puts
Good
a
job.
pretty low value on human life, and everything reflects that. Your turrets do not have fail-safes. They will
they
kill
can
you to
friendly
get the
fire.
enemy. Your weapons, like the railgun, even have an unsafe mode with predictable results. Even if you and all of your friends die in a
Why
mission, as long
is
as
there
the
an
objectives
unsafe
were
mode?
complete, it still counts as a full victory. All in all, the question of is the Helldivers 2 story good can't be answered yet because it's ongoing. I think, however, what they've shown so far has been phenomenal, and I can't wait to see where it progresses.
How did
to.
you
And
copy
speaking
it?
of the future, let's go ahead and try to
How did you
predict
get that 10 point? That's the future.
Reminds us that all flesh is grass and history's lamps blow out.
The easiest way, I believe, to predict the future of Helldivers 2 is to look back at the first game. As it stands, they've faithfully transferred a lot of the game's most iconic features to the sequel, so following that pattern, there might be some fun stuff down the line. The first thing that's coming, however, that we actually know about is the vehicle update.
Coming soon after launch. I've seen it. And I really want to...
Got a job for you, 621.
One of the best parts of Helldivers 1
Feels
was
like a
the map
mantis
call-ins
from
that
Halo.
turned you into a god of war until you ran out of ammo or exploded. As well, if you look at certain wreck sites in Helldivers 2, you can actually find the model of the battle mechs that are most likely coming to the game. You can also find the wrecks of armored personnel carriers, which is also in Helldivers 1, which is exciting. There's also the
An
wreck of a
easier
Dune
way
buggy
to
slash
travel.
Jeep, which is
That would
also
be cool.
super neat. That rhymed. The next thing is the
Humvee.
enemies, and you may have noticed there was a very large section of open space under Super Earth. In the first game, this is occupied by the Illuminate, an ancient alien civilization with technology beyond our understanding, and was also my least favorite to fight in Helldivers 1. That being said, I think their mechanics would be much more fun to go against in a third-person environment, so I am still looking forward to it. Another thing from Helldivers 1 is a new mission type, like boss battles, which I'm gonna put my hat in the ring and say if you let us make bigger lobbies to fight Helldiver raids with like one stratagem each, I will be in Super Earth heaven. There's also different map
How about a
types like
10-man
cities, which I
squad?
couldn't get footage of from Helldivers 1 at the moment, but they are super cool. Lastly, there's a ton of guns that could be added from the first game. We of course have our classics like the Liberator, the Scythe, and the Breaker, but I desperately want the bolt action Constitution rifle. Also on that note, give us bayonets, or an idea that I'm going to
that
steal
would be
from one of my
nice.
patrons. Please give us melee weapons, even if they are terrible. Anyway, another amazing topic
Lightsabers.
transition incoming.
Or power
Speaking
swords.
of terrible, let's talk about the game's shortcomings.
Okay. You can't get in because of the lobby.
If you
or
were to have
the
seen the
sides.
Steam reviews on the first day of launch, this looked a lot different. It used to have mostly negative reviews, and almost all of them were about the game's anti-cheat called GameGuard. GameGuard is a kernel-level software, meaning it has access to the core files of Windows and essentially everything that runs on your computer.
Oh,
In the
no.
cybersecurity world, we would call that a rootkit. Now, I am personally not bothered by this, and I trust that it would never be used nefariously, as many other games like Fortnite or Fall Guys or Rainbow Six Siege all had similar software. However, I'm not going to minimize the concerns other people have, especially if security of your system is a higher priority. I essentially agree that this invasive form of anti-cheat is bad. On top of that, this has caused game issues even in my friend circle where it can't let certain people play, which blows. On top of the Game Guard stuff, Helldivers still has plenty of glitches, and everyone will most likely experience a game where they barely make it to extract just for it to crash or something to break horrifically and you lose the mission. This problem is way more fixable, and I expect it to be resolved soon, but it, again, still sucks. Also, if you're like me, most of your time will now be spent in a queue because so many people want to play this game, there's just not enough room, which isn't good, especially when you get home to play a game that you paid for but can't. Though I'm sure it's a good problem to have from the dev's point of view, and also something that will probably be resolved pretty soon. Another drawback is that this is a Sony console exclusive, which always sucks because there's a ton of people out there that might have an Xbox that really want to play the game and can't. That being said, it's created one of the more wholesome memes I've seen on the internet, with Sony players desperately asking for Xbox players to be let in because they need more soldiers to fight off the alien menace. Please keep making more of those types of memes, they make me feel better about people. My last caveat I want to point out is that there is a cash shop, which always feels icky to me. It allows you to spend real money that allows you to buy armor sets as well as a battle pass with some okay-ish weapons. I know, of course, that this game wants a long lifespan, so these are probably necessary for another 8 years of helldiving, but something about seeing a $sign in a video game always puts me off. That being said, you can actually pretty easily earn premium currency just by playing the game, and I've been able to buy everything I've wanted just from the loot I've gathered, so that is a huge positive. It's also better than Helldivers 1, where you needed to buy 17 separate DLCs on Steam to have the meta gear to play the game. Also, last criticism, please add invite-only lobbies. During the recording of this video, I've had like 16 people from my friends list randomly join and destroy my B-roll, so that would be handy. Alrighty, I am done with the negatives.
Okay. What's the
Now, despite all those downsides, I still believe Helldivers 2 to be a dream game for me. Everything from its core gameplay to the little details has me enthralled, and the experience of waking up at 4 a.m. to play on launch with my friends is going to be a core memory I'll have for the rest of my life. This was also my first swing at a video essay, so hopefully I was able to convey my passion for the subject coherently. I'm gonna end this video now for the unironic reason that I want to go play more Helldivers. So I can't thank you enough for stopping by, and I hope you have a good one.
Alright, that was entertaining and informative. Thank you, Rubik's Raptor, for taking the time to inform new Helldivers who's jumping in. I've never heard of Helldivers before, but seeing this now, and with the current state of gaming and everything sucks, this is a welcome fresh breath of air. So, I'm gonna buy this. But if you guys can help me, just throw a dono in my face, in my way. $30, I'll spring for the 10. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. More Helldivers content will be entering the channel. Hope you appreciate it and like it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I cannot stress this enough because YouTube is a pain in the butt cheeks, and revenue is down. So I really need the help. So until next time, hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope I see you there in the next video. Be there or be square. Boop!